In general, people judge more by appearances than first-hand experience, because everyone gets to see you, but hardly anyone deals with you directly. Everyone sees what you seem to be. Few have experience of who you really are. Modern politicians prioritize one thing above all else: their appearance. Machiavelli argues that rulers should cultivate the appearance of virtue, to present themselves as virtuous and moral, even if they do not necessarily act that way in private. A new ruler cannot always act in ways that are considered good, but it is crucial that he should nevertheless appear to be good, and especially that he should appear to be exceptionally compassionate, loyal, humane, honest, and devout. But what is the best way for a modern politician to appear virtuous? The answer is to spend, spend, and spend. Who doesn't want more money for infrastructure projects, education, healthcare, or social services? The more money a politician spends, the more they are seen as compassionate, and the higher their chances of re-election. But this hasn't always been the case. Historically, this way of appealing to the masses has always ended in disaster, and looks a little something like this. A ruler comes to power and embarks on a large amount of spending on public projects. The people are pleased and happy with the many benefits they receive from the government. Their taxes are then raised to pay for the spending. They then begin to hate the leader, and then the leader is removed from power. As Machiavelli argues, generosity is self-defeating. The more you spend, the more you will need to tax, and the more you tax, the more you will be hated. Above all, he mustn't seize other people's property. A man will sooner forget the death of his father than the loss of his inheritance. But modern politicians have found a sneaky and deceiving way around this, a way most people are completely unaware of, something called inflation tax. Have you ever wondered why things used to be so much cheaper? In 1971, a new house cost $25,000, and the average rent was only $150 per month. A movie ticket would cost $1.50, eggs 45 cents per dozen, and gasoline would set you back a whopping 40 cents per gallon at the pump. Even a Harvard education would cost you just $2,600 for a full year of tuition. So why are things so much more expensive today? The answer is simple. The government prints money as much as they like in unlimited amounts. The more they print, the less the money is worth, and as a result, the prices of goods and services goes up. But you might be asking yourself a question. How are they able to print so much money? They're able to do this because of the type of money we have, a type of money called fiat. But to understand what fiat is, we first have to understand what money is and where fiat has come from. Before money existed, humans had to barter. That is, goods and services had to be traded for other goods and services. A cow for a sheep, an apple for an orange. But this system was incredibly inefficient, and not everyone wanted what you had to trade. And so would rise a form of money, a medium of exchange, a unit of measurement, and a store of value that everyone agreed to use so they wouldn't need to barter. In ancient societies, money would first appear in the form of seashells and beads, things that were all small, similar in size, durable, and easily identifiable. Factors that are common occurrences for forms of money across different cultures and timeframes. As civilizations evolved and became more advanced, money would begin to appear in the form of precious metals, usually silver or gold, that were then melted down and formed into coins. This form of money would last for thousands of years, until, in the modern age, we have adopted paper as our form of money. However, this paper was not like the fiat money we have today. Instead, it was something called representative money, a piece of paper that represented something else of intrinsic value. Rather than have to carry around a lot of heavy metal coins, people would deposit their money into banks, who, in turn, would issue them paper banknotes, which represented the amount of precious metals they had exchanged. These banknotes, a new form of currency, would then circulate around the economy, and at any time could be redeemed for their value in silver or gold. In the 18th and 19th centuries, governments and central banks would adopt this system and apply it to their national currencies. For example, in 1934, under what was known as the gold standard, a $35 bill would be backed by 1 ounce of gold. It was important that paper money was backed by gold, as it imposed limits on government spending. They wouldn't be able to print more money without in turn increasing the amount of gold they held in reserve. As a result, prices remained stable and people were able to save without the fear of inflation eroding away their purchasing power.